Hi, this is Jason Nickleby, Coordinator of Officials with the Minnesota State High School League, and this is football officiating training tape number 8. This is our last training tape for the 2021 season. I want to thank all of you for your efforts. You've done an outstanding job. Really proud of all of you. And thanks to everyone across the country who've tuned into these tapes as well. And again, not trying to get you to agree with me necessarily, just trying to get you to think about mechanics and philosophy and positioning and how you handle these plays as a crew so that hopefully we can make as few mistakes as possible and have a great game when we work on Friday nights. So with that, we're going to get into some plays, but first I want to make sure I thank our colleagues from Missouri for sharing these championship games with us so that we could get better at our craft, both in Minnesota and across the country. So really appreciate them offering these to us so that we could use them for training purposes. And again, not picking on any one official or crew or team, just trying to learn from these plays as we go forward. So with that, let's take a look at those plays. On this one, I want to talk about our philosophy on line to gain, down and distance, and coverage, and then our philosophy on offensive holding. So first, this is a 1st and 10 play, yet the ball is about halfway over the 35-yard line. Put the nose of the ball on a big yard line. Don't make it this difficult on ourselves. We shouldn't put 1st and 10 on a inch line or quarter yard line like this. So you see it's right in the middle of the line. We don't want that. Put the nose of the ball on a big line. That way we have a pretty good idea of when they make the line to gain. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I like our positioning. I like our flow and coverage as we go through this play. So that's all great. Good initial positioning and mechanics, so that's good. We follow this play well. Good transition. I want to take a look at the lead block on this play. And he engages the defender, gets his hands inside, and then drives, and then puts him on the ground. So you see right here about the 29-yard line. This is not enough for a foul. This is an overpower. This is exactly what we want a blocker to do. This is well done. He overpowers that defender. This is not offensive holding. But this looks ugly, and we could put a flag down. But we want to be careful on these. Make sure we see the whole thing, because if we get to it late, it's going to look like he tackled them, and then we're going to put a flag on the ground when all this was an overpower. So he just drives him to the ground. This is a good block. This was well done by the crew. Good coverage, good mechanics. The only thing I'd think about is where we put the ball to start a 1st and 10 drive. Outside of that, our positioning mechanics and coverage was good, and then good judgment to not have offensive holding on this overpower. On this play, I want to point out a really good example of coverage and officiating and exactly what we want. So first of all, referees, good positioning, allows the quarterback to pass his face and then officiate inside out, so that's good. Maybe keep a little bit more distance, but that's being really picky. Overall, in fairly good position to officiate this play. Good depth, keeps a good cushion, and that's good by the referee. And then the part I really want to point out is excellent officiating mechanics by the line judge at the bottom of the screen. Now we're going to want to hold the line of scrimmage till pass is imminent, and he really does that. And then he releases, comes down, and gets this nice catch by number 9, and then we have a good spot. So this is excellent coverage on the sideline. Good job of staying put until the pass is imminent, and then we move downfield and officiate the catch, no catch sideline play. So this is well done by the line judge. Good coverage by the referee as well. Umpire moves up and then officiates the backside, and then we have good coverage down the boundary. So this is well done by the crew. Great coverage and mechanics. On this one, I want to talk about our line of scrimmage mechanics. Our coverage is really good on this play. We follow the action appropriately. Umpire works backside. Line of scrimmage lets the play go past him and then officiates from behind, so that's great. Do a nice job of that and keep all the players in front of us, so that part is good. Back judges, we need you way more involved on this play with a play in the side zone. you need to be out there helping with triangling the football. We can't just stand there and watch. But outside of that, pretty good coverage and involvement by all of the officials on the play. The only other thing I'd point out is line of scrimmage officials, make sure that we mirror each other if we're going to come in like this. So you see that the line judge at the bottom of the screen is not matching up with the linesman at the top of the screen. Now, this is only a 4 or 5 yard gain, so it's not a critical spot, but if it were and we're not matching up, then that would be a credibility issue for the crew. So want to make sure we come in at the same spot. If we're not sure of where the other line of scrimmage official is, then let's not come in this far. But it is helpful to come in the backside so that we can officiate the dead ball action behind the play. So totally fine for the line of scrimmage official to come on the field like this, but just make sure that we match up with the other line of scrimmage official from a spot perspective so that we have credibility for the coaches and the people watching the game that we're on the same page. Okay, free kick here. Just want to remind us of the options on these types of fouls. We've talked about this on other training tapes, but didn't necessarily have a situation quite like this one where it goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So make sure we have all the options on the table. Make sure the coach has all the choices and they can make a decision. Remember that with any foul, the result of the play is an option that they can take. Now, in this particular case, I don't know why you would do that, but it certainly is an option. But when we're looking at this type of foul, we're looking at Rule 619. A free kick shall not be kicked out of bounds between the goal lines untouched in bounds by R. And if it is kicked out of bounds and R does not accept a penalty for kick catch interference on the same kick, R has the following choices. A, accept a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and have K re-kick. Okay, no problem. B, accept a 5-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. So in this particular case, from the 38 to the 43. Now this crew does not do that. They put it right down at the 38-yard line, and that's not correct. 5-yard penalty from the succeeding spot is an option. C, put the ball in play at the inbound spot 25 yards beyond the previous spot. So we're kicking from the 40, so 25 yards brings us down to the 35. If for some reason K's restraining line is not at the 40, then we would be 25 yards from whatever that free kick line happens to be. And then D, decline the penalty, put the ball in play at the inbound spot, which I don't know why anyone would take that option, but they certainly do have that option. And then reminder, Article 10, 6.1.10, if a free kick goes out of bounds between the goal lines untouched inbounds by R, the ball should be put in play by R at the inbound spot, which is the left hash in this particular case. And they can't put it in the middle of the field or on some other hash. They don't have that choice. It has to be put at the inbound spot. But a common mistake is crews think that 5 yards from the succeeding spot, which is option B, also applies to the 25-yard line or 25 yards from the previous spot provision. And so the rule does not say place the ball at the 35, and then if it did, then yes, it would be a succeeding spot 5 yards from that spot, but it doesn't say that. It says put the ball in play at the inbound spot 25 yards beyond the previous spot. It doesn't say and except 5 yards from that spot as well. So that's a common mistake that we make where we say 5 yards from the 35, or the other common mistake is what you've seen in this example where they kick it out of bounds at the 38 and we don't give them that 5 yard from the succeeding spot option. And another place that would really be more common is the ball goes out of bounds at the, say, 33-yard line. We would probably instinctively put it at the 35, and that would not be correct. We would want to put that at the 38-yard line in that particular case. So keep in mind all of the options. Make sure we communicate that with the coach and as the crew, and that we put the ball in play at the correct inbound spot. This play is an excellent example of pacing of play. So line of scrimmage officials move down, get the progress spot. Don't need to come in that far. We've made the line to gain, no problem. Referee indicates first down, and see him wind the clock right away. This is excellent. This is absolutely what we want to see when the umpire has the ball in their hands, wherever that is, and they're ready to put it down. Wind the clock. This is what we want. We wait way too long. The ball's on the ground, everyone's in position, and the play clock has fallen below 25 or even 20, and we're not winding the game clock until then. That's too long. So taking a look at this is really a really good example of what we want. So indicate first down, signals first down, umpire has the ball in his hands, winds the game clock. So this is excellent. This is exactly what we want to do on pacing a play. Now, end of fourth quarter, second quarter, tight game, might have to adjust our pacing a little bit, not be quite as fast, be a little bit more deliberate, but in this case, middle of the second quarter or early second quarter, signal first down, umpire has the ball in his hands, wind it up. So this is awesome. This is exactly how we want it done. So well done by the referee on this play. On this play, this is a really good example of goal line mechanics, in particular by our line of scrimmage officials. And we have really good coverage by the whole crew here. We close in nicely, get near players, good dead ball officiating. So this is well done by the crew, really close in nicely. So that's really a good job. But take a look at the line of scrimmage officials. We move to the 5-yard line initially, which is what we should be doing on a play inside the 10. And then we should move on to the goal line. And if there's a line to gain involved, then we should move to that and then adjust to the goal line. In this particular case, move to the 5, move to the goal line, and then work backwards into the field of play to get forward progress rather. So this is really well done by the line of scrimmage officials here. Move to the 5, move to the goal line, and then move into the field of play. Now it's second down, not a really critical spot, so we don't necessarily have to pinch this hard, but that's really picky. This is really well done. This is really good coverage to the 5, to the goal line, and in. So line of scrimmage officials, this is what we want you to do on a play snapped inside the 10. In particular, move to the 5, goal line, and then field of play. So well done by the line of scrimmage officials and good coverage by the crew. Okay, on this one I want to talk about our coverage and mechanics and then the judgment piece with pass interference. So you see here we have a pass down the boundary, some contact, and then we have a flag that comes from the line judge for pass interference. Now remember, we need to finish the play, signal incomplete if that's the result of the play, which is what we have here. And then referees, this is not a situation where we need to do a preliminary. Just go through the announcement right there. They're going to take it, signal it, announce, and move forward, because we run all the way to the other side of the field, have a discussion, and then do our announcement all the way on the other side of the field. We need to take care of this right then when the line judge reports. Now, the other mechanic piece is back judges. As soon as the ball's in the air, we need to get our eyes to that area. We probably should be down on this as well, or at least have an opinion on it to share with the line judge. Even though this defensive back is looking back for the football, I'm good with pass interference from a cutoff perspective, early contact. Remember, we want to put pass interference into categories, and we could have an arm bar, we could have early contact playing through the back, and so forth. In this particular case, I believe he cuts him off. Even though he's looking back for the ball, he rides him out to the sideline with early contact, and this would be enough for pass interference. So I'm good with that. But make sure we finish the play, line of scrimmage officials or whomever, signal incomplete, because that's the result of the play, because we haven't stopped the clock yet here. And then back judges, we should have an opinion on this since the ball's in the air and it's downfield. And then referees, let's dispense of it right here, make the announcement, and move forward. And remember, not an automatic first down. You see it's 3rd and 21. we're going to have a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, and it's still going to be third down. And that's a common misunderstanding by folks who watch other levels, but just something to remember for us when we're working high school games, that is the rule for pass interference and penalty enforcement. So good call and coverage, just a couple things to clean up when it comes to our management of this play. Okay, this is our last play of the training tape series for the 2021 season, and we're going to end it on a good note with very nice officiating and good mechanics and coverage. So we have a strip fumble, sack fumble here, and recovery by the defense, and referee and umpire, good position, good dead ball officiating and coverage. Get in there really quick, have a presence so that we're not going to have any shenanigans after the whistle, and they handle this recovery very well. So do a nice job here of breaking up the players and then signaling that the defense has the football. So well done coverage wise. A philosophy piece just to be aware of, think about. The left tackle gets driven back into the quarterback, and he ultimately does a reverse takedown and takes him down. So it rises to the level of offensive holding. However, he gets thrown into the quarterback who subsequently fumbles. So we wouldn't want holding on this play because it goes right into the tackle. Now, we have a fumble here. If this offensive or this left tackle grabs, throws, takes down the defensive end, and we have a fumble like this, and then the offense picks it up and starts running with it, then we should throw because the holding did have an effect yet on this play. But in this particular case, we either have an immediate sack or we have a fumble recovery by the defense immediately, and that hold caused that fumble, caused that contact. We're going to keep the flag in our pocket in that particular case. So just a philosophy piece to keep in mind, but I think we cover this play, handle this play from a presence, physical presence, and philosophy standpoint. I think we handle this play very well, and this is a good play to end on for the season with a very nice set of officiating by the referee and the umpire in this case in ruling fumble, not calling holding, and then getting in and having a physical presence. Well done by the crew. Okay, that will do it for the training tape series for the 2021 football season. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at plays and having a discussion about philosophy, mechanics, coverage, and rules and how we handle these plays. And I really enjoy having the dialogue with officials about these plays and how we can get better each game and each season. So appreciate all of you and your hard work. Thanks for taking a look at these. Again, hopefully they were helpful for you as we went throughout the season. And good luck in the upcoming postseason tournaments and the off season. Looking forward to seeing you next year.